Just a while ago, someone tweeted that anybody earning 200k has no right to start a family. That 200k is not even enough for a man and his wife, talk less of starting a family where you expect children. And it got thousands of likes. People were agreeing in the comments, adding their own numbers. Some people say 500k is not even enough. Some say you can't make stew with 20,000 naira. Some say a family of 4 needs at least 1,000,000 naira to live. And I sat with that for a while because something about it bothered me deeply. Not because life isn't hard in Nigeria, it is. Everything is expensive. The naira has lost its value. The cost of living is crushing people. All of that is real, and I will never dismiss it. What bothered me is the confidence, the absolute certainty that these numbers are universal. And most of the blanket statements came from Lagos and Abuja, as if Nigeria begins and ends in Island and Osokoro. But before I go further, let me say something that will be uncomfortable for a lot of people. Nigerians are too broke in real life for the kind of standards we are setting for ourselves online. I said it, and I mean it. Scroll through Nigerian Twitter, Instagram, or any social media platform at any given day. Everyone is eating at nice restaurants. Everyone is traveling. Everyone has standards. Everyone has a minimum. Nobody is struggling. The timeline is full of people who apparently cannot survive on anything less than 1,000,000 naira a month. And then you step outside. You look at the actual country. You look at the actual people. You start to wonder, who exactly are these tweets talking about? Because the Nigeria on the timeline and the Nigeria on the ground are two completely different countries. And here's the truth that makes this even more painful. A lot of the people making those tweets are themselves struggling, living in apartments they can barely afford, wearing clothes bought on credit, eating one proper meal a day, but posting the one restaurant visit of the month as if it is a regular Tuesday, performing a life they are not actually living, and using that performance to set standards they cannot meet, and then shame people, who are being honest about their reality. Now, I really want to get personal here, because I think a lot of us, not all, have forgotten something important about where we came from. You see, a lot of Nigerians have never seen a packet of Maggi in their kitchen when growing up. You remember when your mom used to send you to buy Maggi, 20 naira, and then she used half and then put the other half in the cupboard for tomorrow. You remember the sugar bought in a small nylon bag, not full bag, just enough for the tea that morning. The rice measured in mudus, the tomatoes bought just for the food of that day, the kerosene measured in small quantities because the full gallon was too expensive. You remember sitting with your siblings around the same bowl. You remember the way your mother could take almost nothing and turn it into something that filled the house with a smell that still lives in your memory. That was your childhood, and you were not miserable. You laughed, you played, you felt loved. You had everything that actually matters to a child: presence, warmth, safety, belonging. And you went to a public school. Yes, public school. A lot of people went to public school. With the wooden desks and the crowded classrooms and the teachers who sometimes didn't show up, and the infrastructure that was left untouched by the government. And you sat in that classroom and you learned, and you came out of that school and you became something. You are here today, thinking, building, working, existing, partly because of an education that cost your parents almost nothing. But somehow that same person, The one who went to a public primary school, a public secondary school, wore one pair of school shoes for 2 terms, carried a tattered textbook shared with 3 other students. That same person is now insisting their child must attend a school that charges 200,000 naira per term, even though they earn only 250,000 naira a month. See, I'm not saying you shouldn't ask for better or you shouldn't do better for your children. That's not the conversation here. The whole conversation here is trying to let you know about living within your means. And to be honest, a lot of the people are sending their children to those schools not because the education is probably better, not because the teachers are more qualified, but because the building is nicer, the uniforms are fancier, the name sounds impressive, the gate looks good, the reception area has air conditioning. And I want to challenge that thinking directly today. Because yes, our public education system has serious problems. I will not pretend otherwise. The neglect of public schools in this country is a genuine tragedy. But here's what nobody wants to see. A lot of these expensive private schools are not buying you better education. They are buying you aesthetics. You are paying 200,000 naira and above per term for a nice looking classroom and a school bus and a nice gate and a uniform that looks good on photographs. Meanwhile, some of the most qualified, most dedicated, most genuinely passionate teachers in this country are sitting in public schools, in states you've never visited, teaching children who will grow up, to run circles around the products of your aesthetic schools of choice. The expensive school is not always the better school. It is often just the more expensive school. And the difference between those two things is something a lot of Nigerians are paying dearly to ignore. So now you have someone earning 250,000 naira per month, rent in a neighborhood that takes, 150,000 every month from his salary. School fees 200,000 per term. So call it roughly 70,000 naira a month. Data, transport, food, clothing, and they are drowning, genuinely suffocating under the weight of a lifestyle they chose because they refused to be seen living anything less. And that drowning person goes on Twitter and says 500k is not enough for a family to survive on. But enough for what? Enough for the life you actually have, or enough for the life you are pretending to have? Let me ask you something. Do you know that right now, as you are watching this, there are families in this country surviving on 80,000 naira a month, on 50,000 naira, on even less? They are eating. The children are going to school. There is a roof. There is a life happening. Not the life you want, not the life you see on social media, but real life, real functioning daily life. The Okada man you see every morning has a wife, has children, has school fees somehow handled, has food on the table somehow provided, has a roof, maybe a face me, I face you, maybe a single room, but a roof. He's not comparing his rent to someone living in a nicer area. He's not buying a bag of rice when he can only afford a mudu. He's not performing a lifestyle. He's living the one he has, fully, without apology. And here is what will sting. Some of you with 300k, 400k, 500k salaries are more financially distressed than he is, because he lives within what he has and you live beyond it. His stress is survival. Your stress is maintenance. Maintaining an image, maintaining a standard, maintaining the version of yourself that exists online and slowly bleeding you dry in real life. Over 60% of Nigerians live below poverty line. Data shows this. 60%, over 60% live below poverty line. The national minimum wage is 70,000 naira. The majority of this country is surviving on amounts that will make our timelines choke. And they are surviving. Barely, yes. Uncomfortably, yes, but surviving. You see, your parents were happy with less, not because less was enough, but because they didn't pretend it was more. They knew exactly what they had. They squeezed every drop of dignity and joy from it. And somehow, that honesty made the house feel full, even when the cupboard was almost empty. They sent you to the public school they could afford, and you turned out fine, more than fine. And yet, you are here insisting that the school with the fancy gates and the one with, fancy classes are the only option for your child when you cannot afford. Remember, my point is when you cannot afford it, I'm not saying don't send your child to a good school. I'm saying only do it when you can afford it. So I'm not telling you to stop dreaming. Dream bigger, work harder, build more, chase everything you want. But while you are chasing it, live honestly in the gap between where you are and where you are going. Because that gap can be peaceful or it can be agonizing. And the only difference is whether you are honest about where you actually are. Know what you have, live what you have, build quietly towards what you want. 200K is sustaining a family right now, somewhere in this country, as you watch this. And that family is not less than you. They are just more honest than the version of you performing on the timeline. Everything else is just noise you are paying for with your peace. This is Mr. Abdul Reacts.